Really Charlie Podcast, a weekly show with the one person to make you say, "Really, Charlie?" on the Really Charlie Podcast. Tune in. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, a weekly show with the one person to make you say, "Really, Charlie?" on the Really Charlie Podcast. Tune in. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, a weekly show with the one person to make you say, "Really, Charlie?" on the Really Charlie Podcast. Tune in. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really Charlie Podcast, making memories last. Your time, my time, we all shine on the Really Charlie Podcast. It's the Really
It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass.
So tell me about your big sister. She was kind. She would always boss us. She wouldn't like boss us around. She would just tell us the right thing to do.
She'd tell you the right thing to do?
Yeah, like if we would have messed something up.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Did it? So you did the right thing? Well, that's pretty impressive. What else can you tell me about her?
She was a great person.
What was your big sister like?
She was fun. Playing it.
She was fun?
And she helped.
Good job.
And she helped a lot.
Why are you here?
Because of my sister.
What happened to your sister?
She died. She had a headache and a friend gave her a pill.
Y'all got along okay?
Of course. She was like when I looked at her, I was like looking at the future. Because she was like a bigger me.
What else can you tell me about her? How did she get along with everybody else?
She was being friendly.
She was friendly?
Yeah.
How would you feel about everybody getting together and talking about her like this?
I don't know. Maybe she would like it.
What was your sister like?
Crazy.
Crazy. So does that mean y'all had fun? What do you want people to know about your sister?
That she was a great person and she was helpful.
So you had fun together.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to her?
She died.
How did she die?
Someone gave her a junk pill. One of her friends, I think, I don't know who it was, but one of her friends gave her like a bad pill that was called Fentanyl. She went to, I don't know, but she went to someone's house and she passed out. Had to go to the doctors.
And she had to go to the doctor.
And my mom and I go there.
What have you learned about fentanyl?
It's bad. It could crush a whole family's heart, like their hearts, and it'll make them depressed and sad. Fentanyl is dangerous.
So what should people learn from this?
Never take pills from strangers or your friends.
What kind of warning do you want everybody to have?
Don't take drugs and fentanyl because you could die, and it'll make you not healthy.
What about your family? How has it affected your family?
A lot. Yeah, my dad won't let me go to my cousin's house. He's too scared something would happen to us. And my mom's just been, she's sad about it, but she doesn't show no reaction because she wants her whole family. She doesn't want to make her family cry and sad. She wants to do positive vibes.
Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Hope you're hearing me loud and clear. I like to go to Texas Pictures Documentaries, great YouTube channel, and show some of the stories because they're they're real life stories. There's nothing false about it. It's definitely a true story, and Texas is getting hit pretty hard, and the whole country is really, but Texas is really getting hit hard. So I like to go on there. I'm on there probably every few days just to listen to some of the stories. So some of the facts that I'm kind of pouring out here on the podcast, I can at least, pass it on to you guys and let you know. I appreciate all the comments already. I appreciate it. God bless you. And it's a sad story. It really is, because they're young children going through a tragedy at a young age, probably losing one of their best friends, even though it's a relative, and over a pill that she took somewhere else, not at home. And so we have to watch out for those things and what we're taking from people. Just don't assume that it's going to work. You should, get it right out of the bottle, look at it, examine it. Most pills have the name of the company on it or some kind of a number on it, so and if it doesn't have all those things, I suggest you don't take it, whatsoever, because there are imitations out there and counterfeit ones that are just used to camouflage fentanyl and other opioids. So the we got a fundraiser coming up from Achieve Greatness 88.org, March 9th. I want to announce that now because it's at the Century House. If you want tickets, please, get in touch with us. It all goes to Achieve Greatness. It helps out with good causes, good things that they're doing to help out and spread the education of and the dangers of fentanyl. I have an old flyer here. And that's the old flyer, Achieve Greatness, March 9th, 6 p.m. to midnight. You're going to have a dinner buffet, music, silent auction with sports, paraphernalia, you have DJ Fresco, a few other bands, Joe Queen Santos and his group, and that's at the Century House. 107 South Main Street, Acushnet, Massachusetts. It's the first annual fundraiser. So come and join me. It's going to be a good event, and I'll be there along with many others. So come join us. All right. Hey, Michael, how you doing? I appreciate you so much, man. I really do. Whether you know it or not. A good supporter. I appreciate everything you do on a daily basis. You and I communicate and talk, and it really means a lot to me. You keep up the good work which you're doing, and I appreciate you. Says Facebook user here, and I put the comment up here. I just want to fall back on that, right? This is so sad, poor things, but glad they are spreading the message. And it's true, we have to spread the message, right? Doesn't take long to understand the dangers of fentanyl, right? Just check it out. I just gave you a good source with Texas Picture documentaries on YouTube, and parents and people, counselors, everybody is spreading the word, and actually telling you some factual stuff. So, if you're not a reader and you need that audio, that video rather, go ahead and check out YouTube with Texas Picture documentaries, and and even the past podcast that we had here on the Really Charlie podcast with Paula. She throws out tons of facts, so feel free. And if you have a story you want to tell, whether you're local or you're far away, get in touch with me. I'd gladly put you on there and tell your story. Everyone's going through some things, whether it's you or whether it's a friend or relative. You're going through a lot of things, and sometimes your emotional message may be the right thing for someone else and turn them right around. So, if you want to tell a story, please let me know. All right, everyone. There's not much I have. I just wanted to give that short story. I'm going to be back on at 8:30. I strongly recommend that you come on and you join me with my guest at 8:30, and that's Nathan Victor. Young dude, a little bit younger than me, had a heart transplant. He was a strong dude growing up, he was healthy, but he needed a heart. And so he had a heart transplant. This story is better than anything that you're going to get on Netflix, better than anything you're going to get on HBO, because I have the person here. He's going to tell this story. The first podcast we had was amazing. But now he has, as he's going on with his life and he's doing different things, he has more stories. So please tune in, 8:30. Little about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Just come on and join us. Interact with Nathan and I guarantee you will not be wasting your time. And when do we? It's the Really Charlie podcast, right? All right, y'all. So I'm going to end this part with my favorite song, and I'll see you at 8:30. All right, please come join me. And don't forget about the fundraiser. If you want to come out March 9th and chill out with me and a bunch of my friends for the Achieve Greatness event, come on by. All right, let's see. My favorite song by Lionel Peter Walker. And stay tuned. We are definitely going to be giving someone else an award, the Really Charlie Podcast Sunshine Award, that's coming up very soon. So I'm trying to make a decision, but we will nominate someone, and so I'm going to let you know. Give me a few weeks, and we'll make that announcement. All right, here we go.
It's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yo, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Yeah, it's the Really Charlie Podcast. Bumping through your broadcast. Grab a chair, fill your glass.